places like Harrods and Lane Crawford and Cartier and David Jones and Bloomingdale's, and any fancy department store around the world that sells jewelry is probably selling John Hardy jewelry. And anyway, very, very successful business. They ended up selling the company, or they sold their shares in it, starting in the mid-2000s. Took a couple years to negotiate the contract. They signed the papers about 10 months before the financial crash of 2008. So their timing was amazing. Company was way up here, and 10 months later, the poor guys who bought the company found themselves down here. So anyway, capitalism. So they, I'm going to give this back to you before I'm tempted, but wow. Are you sure you're not a rock star? Are you an artist? Are you an actor?
No.
Okay, we're going to talk. Okay. Are you a bamboo immortal? Yes, you will be. So they sold the business, great timing, had by all accounts a very healthy payday, and they decided to take a big chunk of the money they made and use it to start Green School. And they've been interested in sustainability issues for a long time, in the environment, and they've been in Bali long enough to see, again, a lot of the environmental stresses that were beginning to happen here. So this was basically a give back. They wanted to be part of bringing some sustainable practices back to this island. And at the same time, while they were building their business, they also built a family, and they had 2 daughters, and they looked around Bali at the existing international schools. A lot of international schools here, big expat community here, and probably fair to say that we're only 5 years old, 5 years and 1 day at this point. Probably some of those schools doing things better than we are, but nobody's doing anything remotely like this. Most of those schools have 4 walls and ceilings, and they look a lot more like the conventional schools that we imagine. And they didn't really find that very inspiring for their kids, that traditional view of education. So this was also a school for their own children. We are a nonprofit foundation. We're a yayasan here in Indonesia for my Merdeka, okay? And for the Americans among you, we are, how many? I know, 501c3, not-for-profit, so tax-deductible contributions possible. And through our first 4 years or so of operation, we were actually losing money. We talk about sustainability all the time. Ironically enough, we were financially unsustainable, so of course the Hardys continued to support the school, keep us going. And we have recently broken even, so our nose is just above the water, so that's again why we do request donations from people who come through to help bring us more Balinese students. Anyway, this is a story that's been told in our media coverage, and it's a story that's not uncommon in history. A lot of people, of course, have made their money, and they've used money to start nonprofits and foundations. But the Green School twist, and most people don't know this until they're here, is how we were physically created, how we got to be built. Anyone know the story yet? Maybe? Andy Slavin, Green School principal. First day of school, Andy. Wait, talk to the cameras, please. How did?
Welcome.
How was the first day, Andy?
It was amazing.
Were there any train wrecks?
Not yet.
Not yet. No train wrecks. That's good. Train wreck. Okay.
I'm going to check.
Okay. Don't go to the monkey farm, please. There was an accident at the monkey farm. No, we don't have a monkey farm. It's a joke. Anyway, so the twist on Green School is again how we were physically created, and it's really interesting because during the couple years it took John and Cynthia to sell the business, the jewelry business, they already had land here. They knew they were going to build Green School. That was going to be their next project, their legacy project, really. And they began looking around Bali for a designer, builder, architect who could bring this vision to life. And again, they wanted to use bamboo. They didn't want to just build little bamboo shacks. They wanted to create architecturally beautiful and innovative and inspiring structures. They come out of the jewelry world, so they wanted to echo some of the aesthetic value that they placed in their business. And they looked around Bali and essentially couldn't find a company here that was able to do what they wanted to do. And so John Hardy said, well, if the company isn't here, I will start the company. So we're going to walk down now in a second to the river that bisects our campus. And across the river is Green School property. And just south of the campus, right down there, about 300-400 meters away, John founded a bamboo design and architecture firm called PT Bamboo, very creative name. And that company was founded to design and build and furnish the school. So everything that you see here, most everything you see here, comes from right across the river. A group of designers, architects, some of the best bamboo minds in the world who came here from as far away as South America, all over North America, Asia, Indonesia, Bali, Europe, Australia, and they were given the license to be as creative as they could and come up with really beautiful structures, beautiful designs, bamboo pirate ships, bamboo toilets, almost everything you see here. So, did somebody just say sustainability?
Just the whole thing is.
The whole thing is, yeah. And I did say this at the beginning of the tour, I think, but 5.5 years ago, almost nothing was here that you're seeing today. And we never could have come into being in that time frame and in such an architecturally unique, if not beautiful manner, I think beautiful, if we didn't have that direct connection. So we were their first client, and they gave us a great price. We got a sweetheart deal from them. And apparently the price was so good for us that they actually lost money on the deal, and the financial crisis happened, and there was a pretty steep learning curve early on. But they've also gotten to use us as their design studio. We were the guinea pig. They've learned a lot about bamboo in this process, and they also continue to use us as a PR showcase. And again, a lot of media coverage. We were a finalist a couple years ago for the Aga Khan Architecture Prize. Anyone know about that? Apparently it's a big deal if you're an architect. No, okay, maybe not. But apparently, no, it's big. So we're the reigning greenest school on earth, as awarded by the U.S. Green Building Council. So anyway, that's how we exist. They are a for-profit business. We're a nonprofit foundation, so we're separate organizations, but very, very symbiotically connected. We both benefited greatly from that relationship. So, anyone heard of the Green Village project? Yeah. So that's very close to the school. That's a sequel to Green School that they're now doing. And again, taking some of what they learned here, they're building beautiful bamboo houses. They're going to get a lot of architectural attention. They are selling them for outrageously high prices. Sorry, cut. Okay, high prices. They're selling them for $500,000 to $1 million, Australian, Canadian, U.S. So they're a little bit out of the local rice farmer market, probably. But again, all about putting bamboo out there to the world as something that we can use instead of some of the rainforest timber. So okay, cut and take two. I have $1 Australian to award to any lucky Australian. Somebody, that's somebody here.
That's why
Okay.
she should.
Okay.